So just thank you for what you're doing. In the debate today, we'll be repeating what Sue has been saying for some time now. We will ban fur imports. And that will be... We think we can push the government into a position where we get consensus across all political parties to ban fur imports. Labour introduced a ban on fair trade in this country. We now want to prevent the imports coming in because of the terrible animal suffering that takes place at all. Look, my position is quite clear. We've got to end the suffering of animals. We've done it in this country by banning. We need to ensure now that we ban the imports so we can influence other countries to prevent that suffering taking place. Now, in terms of the fur trade itself, the fashion trade is developing. There's opportunities for jobs in other parts of the fashion industry that people can now take on. So it's not a threat to jobs in the long run, but it is, we're a civilised country. We do not want to be importing fur based upon the brutal suffering of animals abroad.
International issue to do with raising animal welfare standards. In other words, they're not going to go for this import ban. What would you say to the government's response?
The images you see behind me here today show that suffering is inherent to the fur trade. Keeping animals in wire, tiny cages is always going to be cruel, so they can't raise the standards. It's just not going to work. What they need to do is take a moral stand against this suffering, to lead the world in animal welfare and say if it's too cruel to do fur farming in our own backyard, then we shouldn't be paying people overseas to inflict that same cruelty. The vast majority of people would be supportive of a fur import ban. Around 70% showed they were supportive, only 3% critically said they were actively opposed. The argument about people's choice, well, people might want to choose all sorts of things which are banned. As a society, we take a reading, a barometer of societal opinion on things. We've banned cat and dog fur, we've banned seal fur, we used to have a whaling industry, we banned that, we're banning ivory trade, we ban all sorts of things that society deems unacceptable, and the fur trade should be added to that list.
That's great.
Encouraging, and thank you very much for coming, and I hope that we can make some real change today. We'll find out later.
About 100 people here today, but we know that across the UK there are millions of people who find the fur trade absolutely disgusting, and so we stand here to represent them. Not only those people, but also the high street retailers, the designers, Michael Kors, Gucci, Versace, Armani, the list goes on. Fur-free retailer now has 850 brands signed up to it who are fur-free. The direction of travel is clear. The future is fur-free for fashion. And we also have, very happily, a growing list of MPs who are supporting our campaign for a fur import and sales ban, and that's across the political spectrum, because MPs of all colours can see the suffering on the posters that you're holding today. Now, Theresa May has said that she wants the UK to be a world leader on animal welfare. And if we take that at face value, then one thing that she can very clearly do is stop outsourcing fur cruelty. We banned it here. Why are we paying people overseas to do the same awful things to animals? Interestingly, this morning I was invited to be on the Today programme, which, as many of you will know, is a very influential agenda-setting show on Radio 4. And the reason I wasn't able to be on the Today programme today was because the fur trade refused to debate with me. They told the Today programme, they said, we're hoping that this will go away. We don't really want to give it any airtime. We don't really want to try and defend the indefensible. I don't think they said that last bit, but that's what they meant. So are we going to go away? Are we going to forget that there are millions of animals in cages about this big, looping around in circles, going completely mad with boredom? Are we going to forget those animals? No! And are we going to forget the animals who are missing parts of their bodies, who are missing ears, who've got maggot-infested wounds on their heads, who are performing cannibalism and infanticide and all sorts of other things? Are we forgetting those animals? No! So are we forgetting the animals who are at the end of their sorry lives, put in gas chambers and killed? Are we forgetting the animals who are anally electrocuted, or even the animals who are skinned alive? Can we tell the fur trade, don't worry, we're going to forget about those animals? Are we forgetting them? No! We are not. Never. So we're going to keep fighting until the barbaric, cruel, completely unnecessary fur trade is ended. The UK was the first country to ban fur farming. Many others have followed suit. And now we're going to make sure that the UK is the first country in the world to completely ban the import and sale of animal fur. Thank you so much for coming and being a voice for those animals in those cages today. Let's keep fighting!
Fur-free Britain! Fur-free Britain! Fur-free